The letters in the attic. Grief is strange. It doesn't arrive all at once, like a tidal wave. It seeps in quietly, through the cracks of ordinary moments. For me, it wasn't the funeral that broke me. It wasn't even the months of paperwork or the awkward condolences from distant relatives. It was the day I went into my father's attic. The house that time forgot. My father had lived in the same house for 40 years. A small 2-story place with peeling paint and a porch that sagged under its own weight. He was a stubborn man, the kind who fixed everything himself, even when duct tape and prayer were the only things holding it together. When he passed, the house became mine. My siblings wanted nothing to do with it. Too many ghosts, my sister said. My brother muttered something about bad memories. So it was me, always me, who unlocked the door to silence, dust, and the faint smell of old wood. I thought I knew every corner of that house. But I hadn't been in the attic since I was a kid, sneaking up there to hunt for Christmas presents. The discovery. It was a hot afternoon when I pulled down the creaky ladder. Dust fell like snow as I climbed into the attic, flashlight in hand. Boxes everywhere. Old clothes. Faded photos. The detritus of a long, ordinary life. But then, in the far corner under a stack of yellowed newspapers, I found a wooden chest. Heavy. Locked. The lock was old, brittle. One good twist of a screwdriver, and it gave way. Inside were bundles of letters. Dozens of them. Each tied neatly with string, arranged by year. The handwriting wasn't my father's. The letters. The first one was dated 1978. Dear M. I don't know why I keep writing when I'll never send these. Maybe because it's the only way I can still talk to you. Today I saw our boy take his first steps. You should have been there. I wanted to tell you how he smiled when he fell, how he clapped for himself like he'd won something. I froze. Our boy. That was me. The letters continued, year after year. A voice I didn't recognize, talking about birthdays, school plays, broken arms, scraped knees. Memories from my own childhood, moments I remembered but described through the eyes of someone who wasn't there. Someone who watched from a distance. My hands shook as I read. The truth I didn't know. It took me weeks to get through all of them. Some were tender. Some were bitter. Some were desperate. He doesn't even know I exist. That kills me. But maybe it's better this way. Maybe your husband is a better father than I could ever be. I wanted to come to his graduation. I sat in the back, far enough so no one would recognize me. He looked so proud. So much like you. By the time I reached the last bundle, the truth was undeniable. My father wasn't my father. Not biologically. Not in the way I had always believed. The man who raised me, the stubborn, quiet, hard-edged man whose name was on my birth certificate, wasn't the one who wrote those letters. Somewhere out there, I had another father. A stranger who had spent decades writing to a woman who never answered. To a son who never knew. The silence in the walls. I don't know why my mother never told me. She died when I was young, so I'll never hear her side of it. And my father, the man who raised me, never said a word. Maybe pride kept him silent. Maybe love did. But the letters made me question everything. Did he know I found them? Did he want me to? Why did he keep them, instead of burning them? Sometimes I imagine him reading them late at night, alone in this creaking house, carrying the weight of someone else's words. The decision. For weeks, I couldn't sleep. I carried the letters everywhere, hidden in my bag like contraband. I considered searching for the man who wrote them. Tracking him down. Asking the questions that haunted me. But every time I imagined it, I froze. Because what if he didn't want to be found? What if he was gone already? What if meeting him would destroy what little image I still had of family? So I did nothing. Instead, I sat in that attic, surrounded by ghosts, and read the letters over and over until the words blurred. The confession I'll never make. I've never told my siblings. I've never told anyone, actually. To them, Dad was Dad, end of story. They don't need another fracture in a family already split by loss. But I can't stop wondering. When my father looked at me, did he see his son? Or did he see a reminder of a man my mother once loved? Did he raise me out of duty? Out of spite? Or out of something deeper, the quiet, stubborn love of someone who chose me, even if I wasn't his? I'll never know. The letters sit in a box under my bed now. I can't throw them away. They feel like a second inheritance, not of money or property, but of truth. A truth I didn't ask for, but can't ignore. Where that leaves me. Some nights, I imagine writing back. Crafting letters of my own, even if I'll never send them. Dear stranger. I don't know if you're alive. I don't know if you ever thought of me after the last letter. But I've thought of you. I've thought about the years you missed, the birthdays, the graduations, the late night talks. I've thought about the man who raised me, and how complicated love can be. And I don't know whether to hate you for staying away or thank you for trying to be there, even in silence. Maybe one day I'll send something. Maybe one day I'll find him. But for now, all I have are the letters in the attic and the weight of a story I can't tell out loud.